Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning. It is 11:50 and we are just getting ready to go to the shop. Stephen has just bounced in the shower. He's going to be a little bit later behind me. So I am going to head up to the shop to get opened up. We've got a bit of order to unpack and to track all our other orders and find out where we're up to. I've got lots of products to put on the website today. I am absolutely exhausted because I spent 12 hours yesterday at my mum's emptying her loft in preparation for our loft conversion. My heart in places I didn't even know I had. We are going to get up to the shop and we're going to see you there and we'll take you through everything. See you soon. Well, I'm up. I'm here. It's 12:15. I'm all opened up. Shop is ready to go and we're going to get this opened. So this arrived on Saturday afternoon. Look, it's a bit wet. Let's hope nothing is damaged inside. I don't think it will be. But I'm going to get it opened up, get everything emptied, and let the customers know their stuff is here.
So I finally made it to the shop. Probably made it here about 12:20. I was in the process of getting my laptop organised and ready to come to the store because I thought we might be quiet today. So because we're quiet, I thought I could get a head start on uploads. So I walked in the store and there's been sharpenings galore as usual. So I've done a couple of sharpenings, Pamela's done an unboxing, and we have some stuff that is here that we have been waiting for a long time. And I'll put a caveat on this. This isn't Bauer's problem or Bauer's fault. It's just the fact that these holders have went out of stock very rapidly since the new holders have been brought into fruition. So example being, here is the new holders, here is the old holder. So as we can see, this is a new fly holder and this is the old took holder, the took Lightspeed Edge with the trigger, and that's obviously what this has been designed off of. And there's been a couple of wee extra bits added to this holder. To be honest, the torsion bar kind of comes across as if it's like an Easton throwback from, example, maybe the Makos or even the razor blade holder that they used to have. Now, again, people will argue with me and say that it's a brand new design, but everything is getting reused from different skates. Now, one of the things I have looked at in the last little while talking about skates is I've seen the hockey tutorial video about the new Warrior skates, and the holder for that looks like it's an old Easton holder. It looks like it is the razor blade holder from years and years past, but obviously redeveloped. Very similar in my opinion. I'm not saying that they stole that design in any way, shape or form. I'm just saying that's what it looks like to me. Someone that skated in that holder was probably, like myself, will say that was quite a nice holder to skate on. I felt like it was quite a rigid holder and there's not a lot of torsional flex. Unfortunately, this is where it gets to the interesting part for torsional flex for me. I feel like I can't skate in a Lightspeed Edge holder. I feel that they're just too soft for me and there's too much flex in both directions. I just feel like I'm losing my balance every time I'm on them. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to skate on the fly holder. I know that the fly holder is going to be stiffer at the front and softer at the back with the torsional beam in the middle to give rigidity and torsional flex to stop that flexing that a lot of people that would maybe have skated in an old Lightspeed holder would have got. Now, that brings me to my next thing. I had originally said that we were struggling to get that holder. Now, we have been waiting for this holder probably, or looking, we've tried multiple different places for them, and then just by chance Bauer UK had one. They've managed to get us one. So we have managed to get ourselves a Lightspeed holder, and it's to go on these skates, the XF70s. Now, the XF70s were passed in by Ian, who had bought the brand new pair of skates, couldn't get on with them, wanted to take his CCM holders and steels off and put them onto his old skates, and he basically gave me the XF70s and said to me, I can't skate in these skates, they're not comfortable enough, they're not wide enough for me, and that's at the widest fitting that you can get. He's decided that he didn't like the skates, and it was cheaper for him to buy a new pair of skates to get holders and steels than it was to just buy holders and steels on their own. Believe it or not, if you're buying holders and steels, they can be upwards of £300, depending on obviously what type of holder you go for. The big example here would be that if you decided to go for a pair of CCM holders, currently we sell our holders at £79 per holder. Now, that's just for one, and that's obviously because the price of holders have went up through the roof. So you're then 2 holders, which is over £150, and then your steels, which could be anywhere just for standard steels from £100, depending on what brand you go for, up to the CCM standard steels, which is now step steel standard, and that could be over £150 as well, so you're nearly £300. So believe it or not, it was actually near enough cheaper to buy a brand new pair of skates to take the holders off of them, which unfortunately meant that there's a pair of skates that were left here for someone else to use. We had made a comment on a previous video months ago that obviously we have a friend who's called Mark, who's a referee in the Scottish National League, and Mark had a hip replacement, and we have now finally managed to get a holder that we can put his skates together, and we can give him a pair of brand new skates for him going forward. Now, the reason why I thought a brand new pair of skates would be good for Mark is obviously he's been skating in a pair of Bauer skates for a long time. They're pretty beat up, but at the same point he's now got a brand new hip, and I thought for him would have been that maybe one skate was getting a wee bit more wear than the other because he was limping when he was skating. Now he's not limping when he's skating, so that's the idea that I have. That's just the way my brain works, is give him something new. I mean, these skates have been skated on 2 or 3 times if you're lucky. They have been heat moulded, but at the same point they are very structurally sound. I can bring Mark in and get him heat moulded, and we can let him skate on these skates and obviously see how his skating improves. Now, he's still skating on his Bauer skates and has made leaps and bounds again since coming back from his hip replacement, but at the same point I just thought it might be something nice for Mark to get a brand new pair of skates, or a brand new to him pair of skates, which one have a slightly softer holder on them, and 2 have a slightly more rigid skate, which in theory is what Bauer goes for. They go for a rigid skate with a soft holder, which means that you're getting less issues with your joints. For me, I just prefer a stiff skate. I prefer a stiff holder with a really overly stiff skate, which is why I am very interested in looking at the new Warrior skates when they finally do come out. I was going to make a really sarcastic phone call to my Warrior supplier and say, I'm technically a professional recreational player, can I have a pair to see and to try? But I don't think that'll go down too well, and I think I'll be told politely where to go. And we'll also have the other set of holders that we've been waiting for a little while for Lee. So Lee's going to be able to get his new holders because Lee was having an issue with his light speeds. He was going through blades like it was going out of fashion, and I think it was a fault in one of the holders, unfortunately. So every time that he would buy a brand new set of steels, they would last maybe a week or 2, and then the holder would break because I think he was having to bend the blade into the holder because there was a slight arc in it. Sometimes that does happen from manufacturers, and obviously that's not something that you're wanting. So I'm going to have a wee look at his skates when he eventually brings them in, which Pamela has already messaged him. Hopefully he brings his skates in within the next couple of days. We can get his skates sorted as well. What are we up to today, Pam?
Emails, website uploads, website work.
You could be so much happier.
Orders. I've already explained to the viewers why I am very happy out internally, but externally I'm very tired.
Okay.
Yes, that's mainly my work for today. Lots of website work.
Okay.
With lots of coffee.
So I had planned to set up for time lapse, but the whole world came in at the store again, and Pamela was on a phone call with a new service provider for the card machine. So she was obviously dealing with that, which meant I was in the back and dealing with customers as well. So I never get the chance to do what I was meant to be doing. So it has now been done. The skates are now in one piece. The skates are now ready for new steels and ready for a heat mould, and then they will be flying about the ice again with a new hip and a turbo attached to it. That's a wee joke that we've got right now is since Mark had his hip replacement, it looks as if he's also been fitted with a turbo up his butt because he's a lot quicker than what he used to be because he's now not limping. Right, so that's that done. We're now waiting for Lee to bring in his skates so we can get the new Powerfly holders on them as well. And then that's us for just now. I don't really think there's anything much else to do. I may have to go and do a supply trip for some rapid set epoxy because I am completely out. I want to try and see if I can get some more work done on this ISO. And once that's done, then obviously we'll get that set up and ready to go, clamped in place, and then we'll see how it sets. Hopefully we can get some of that done today if I've got time, but just now I've got to go and do some uploads. So it's 5:05 in the afternoon. Again, nothing really much came in today, nothing really was getting done. There was obviously the holders that get put on these skates. There was a couple of sharpenings, there was a heat mould, there was a collection that came in. So all stuff that's kind of not really for the camera, if I'm not being honest. One of the things I did do though, and this is where you guys are probably going to laugh at me, why spend so much time on a broken stick? Well, the reason being is this goalie is a full right goalie, which means he catches with his right hand and holds his stick with his left hand. These sticks are very, very hard to come by, so I tried something again today. I did a layered version of carbon fibre, which is in here. So the reason why we have this piece of foam is to try and stop. As you can see, there's a channel that's kind of cut out here. So it goes thick, then it dips down and then goes thick. What we're looking to do is to try and make the rigidity of the stick more in this area. So because we're trying to do that, I had to build it up. The crack is initially up here, but I wanted to try and build this area up here, so probably about an inch and a half across, build it up a little bit more, fill the channel so that I can then wrap this whole area in carbon fibre to try and see if I can keep the rigidity of the stick. So far so good. The stick is absolutely solid so far from the stuff that I've already did, which was the forged carbon repair. So I'm just making sure that this is going to have longevity. The reason being is you could take this stick on the ice tomorrow night, for example. If it was all cured, that is, and the blade could break. But I'm not really caring about the blade breaking right now. I'm trying to make sure that the shaft is okay. I'm trying to make sure that that shaft has got a little bit more rigidity in it so that the player can get a wee bit more lifetime out the stick. So that is the plan. The carbon fibre has been wrapped with a plastic cellophane wrap and the resin has been put over the top of it. So it's carbon fibre with resin, then a cellophane wrap, and then the good old fashioned leg tape, which is basically holding it down in position. When that is then finished, I will then sand that back a little bit and make it sure that I can put another layer of carbon fibre over the top of it. Hopefully it's enough that we'll be able to then say that that stick is then repaired. We'll see how it goes. It's just a wee side project for when I've got nothing to do. I had hundreds to do today. I was making thumbnails and I was trying to do uploads and stuff like that. But the problem that I had with that is there's no point doing any uploads here because I would have to leave my laptop here and I have to work on it later on. So I'm going to take it down the road and do the uploads at home. Everything else is more or less ready to go. And then obviously we'll see how the rest of the week pans out. But for today, that is us finished. We'll see you later on. What's happening, guys? It is Wednesday 23rd of July. It is 2 minutes past 5. I have a queue of people waiting outside. So this is a very quick hello. I have some stuff that I have to show you tonight. I've got a pair of Graph Ultra G's in for sharpening. I have my Hazardous 9X's in for some new eyelets because they're ripping laces apart. Again, the curse of the true eyelets. And we have, believe it or not, a Bauer Twitch in with a broken blade. And now that I'm trying to do carbon fibre repairs or trying to see how they go, this is the next in the agenda. So we're going to have a wee look at that and see what we can do with it. I've got the Warrior stick that I'm going to take the tape off of tonight to see how that is, getting it ready for some carbon fibre sleeve. I've actually ordered some carbon fibre sleeve which should be here within the next couple of days, and then I'm going to put the carbon fibre sleeve over it and then hopefully that should be it repaired and ready to go. So that is also going to be used for the Twitch. I also have a set of steels in my bag which are in for a first sharpen. So I'll go just now. I'll come back and see you once I'm set up. So it's 6:51. The whole of Paisley and the whole of everywhere else came in for sharpenings. So this is the first chance I'm getting to speak to you guys tonight. Pamela has been excessively busy as well. She's been doing a lot of figure skating sizings. Thanks to the customer, her name escapes me, who had come in. There's been a lot of people that have been recommending Cold-Blooded Sports. So we thank all of our followers, our customers, the viewers that are recommending us. It really means a lot to us. I'm running a bit slow today. I've been to the gym and I'm on a lot. I had a lot of pre-workout because I was excessively tired, so I'm probably not making much sense, or I'm talking way too much or way too fast. I'll tie in with Pam and then I'll show you what I've been up to.
Hi.
Hi. What are you doing?
I was serving customers. I haven't really done much else. I was also going through the order book and ticking off what we've got, organising a couple other bits and pieces due in towards the end of the week, so trying to organise what has to be turned back around and straight back out. There was supposed to be a delivery today but we missed it, so might have to go pick that up tomorrow.
What time was the delivery?
2:16.
I was away at the gym at that point.
Yeah, so of course they can't read the delivery instructions where it says leave it through the back, so they just about took it back away. So I'll sort it. But other than that, I've been just serving customers tonight. It's been quite busy, so first 5 minutes I'm going to go to the shop very soon because we need a little bit of a snack because I'm starving.
Well, while you go do that, I'll talk to the...
Is that so I don't aim and awe and interrupt you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because that's all you've done the whole night, is you've come through and started telling me stories and then going, and then stop. Exactly.
I need to go.
Right, so now Pam is going to go and leave me in peace to speak to you guys. So most of the night I have been kind of pretty busy with sharpenings, as I've said. I have a full eyelet repair or a half eyelet repair to do on my skates because my skates have now started chewing the brand new laces that I've just put in it to them. I snapped about 4 laces in the last couple of weeks and it's only summer skating that I'm doing, so it gives me time to actually get them done. Lee finally brought his skates into the store for his new holders, so he dropped them off. He's not in any rush for them, but I will try and see if I can get a time lapse on that one later on in the video. It brings me to my carbon fibre repair on the goalie stick. So obviously we have seen that there was a repair, there was a channel cut out of the goalie stick, and this is probably been on a couple of videos now. The reason being is I've been taking my time with it. So the videos are shot on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Friday and a Saturday, and if we've got a long enough video, what we usually tend to do is if we've got enough content, we will carry some of the stuff over to the next video because it's happening in a very, very short period of time. So it might seem as if it's weeks down the line for you guys, but it's actually only a couple of days for us because we try and bank our videos and our bank our footage as much as possible so we can make longer videos. And also we try and make a video per day that we're in, if we can, if the content is good enough. If the content is good enough, I understand that some of the videos have been absolutely ranked rotten for the last couple of weeks because of me being working on the bus job and going through training and stuff like that. And Pam obviously had to pick up the slack of the videos because we're trying to kind of keep our streak up, shall we say. We're trying to make sure that we get every single week 2 videos a week. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, the carbon fibre repair. Now, as you would have probably seen earlier on in the video, if it's on this video or in the last video, there has been a channel that was dug out of this stick, and the reason being is there was a crack in the carbon fibre and there was a crack in the foams. So the foam had to be removed because it was like an expanding foam. It's been put in it, and that's a kind of vibration dampener. Now, what I actually did was I cut the channel out and then took most of the foam away and then packed it with carbon fibre chop. So basically what I had originally been told to do was cut up bits of carbon fibre, mix it with the resin and then paste it into the hole and then basically compress it as much as possible to try and get any excess resin out, which gives you structural rigidity. Now, as we can see here, this is the latest carbon fibre update. So as I'm holding the stick with my legs, you can see that there is obviously lines from the cellophane wrap that I put over the top of it. That is not going to affect the actual structural rigidity at all. As you can see, the level here has actually been okay, and the level here where the foam had been, the foam actually stuck on with the resin. So what I will have to do is sand that back slightly. There is a plan for all of this. This whole area here has been rebuilt over. So their initial hole or channel was cut up here, and then there was an area underneath which I had to try and backfill. So if you look at it side on, you can see that this is a high point, this is a low point, and then this is a high point. Now what I've actually did here is try and build that up there to give it more structural rigidity in that area. So this area is probably about 3.5 inches, and what I'm going to have to do next is I've got carbon fibre sleeve coming. So the carbon fibre sleeve will go from here all the way down to here, and I'm going to resin all of that in, and then I'm going to compress it all, and I'm going to basically try and sand it back and then do another gel coat over the top of it. You guys will probably be thinking that that's way overkill for a stick. Now, if I show you at the moment, this stick, when I got this stick, it was literally held together with one little bit of carbon. You can see the front here, the resin has overspilled on here. I'm going to sand all this back again, and then I'm going to do a little bit more work on it to try and make it look a little bit more prettier. But at the same point, that's just my OCD. Now, when I got this stick, you wouldn't have been able to flex it. So now, if you look, we put the foot on it, and we're flexing it. The stick is absolutely solid. It could probably go back to the customer right this very second. But what I'm actually not happy with is the finish. I want to try and make it as good as possible, and I'm very, very interested to try the carbon fibre sleeve. The reason being is I've seen that used on blades, and I've seen it used on shafts before. which then brings me to my next job, which we spoke about earlier on in the video. Now, this is a 3-week-old Bauer Twitch. For me, that is nowhere near good enough that this blade has broken. We understand that some sticks break, and we understand that certain things can happen, but for the price that you're paying for this stick, I am going to try my best to try and see if I can do some work on this to try and bring it back to some sort of use again. Now, as we can see, it's actually broken down here as well, and it's obviously broken here. So I'm going to try and see if I can sand everything back and use the carbon fibre sleeve across this area and this area here to try and make the blade structurally rigid again so it can be used. I don't know how that's going to go, so what I will have to do is cut out the channel along this part here where it's all broken and try and backfill it. And I'm also going to try and see if I can backfill this part here and obviously see if we can wrap this with something. Now, that's not me having a knock on Bauer in any way, shape or form. It could be any stick that could have been broken within a week. I've actually had sticks before. I won't tell you what brand they were, but I've had sticks that are broke on the first time of use, and that's something that you're not paying for. Luckily, the supplier was able to reimburse me and give me another couple of sticks when I went back to the supplier and obviously showed them where they had broken, how they had broke, and only being once on the ice that had broken. I will get back onto it. I've got a couple of sharpeners that I've got to do now, and then obviously we've got this repair that we're going to maybe try and see if we can get started tonight. If not, it'll be on Friday.
Listen, just give me a chance. I know that we can find our love again. Now hear me, just one more dance, 'cause I know we can make it right again. And I know you're the one I've been looking for, and I know you're the one for me. So baby, I'm reaching out for your love. If you really
So if you watched the time lapse, you would have seen that the power fly holders went on very, very easily. That's them all sorted. Coppers at the back and steels all the way through the rest of them. And when we now talk about my true skates, they now look as if it's something that Thanos would have wore in the Infinity Wars. You've got obviously the brass eyelets, 3-piece ones that are in here. The reason being is that seems to be where the eyelets were having the problem, and they were tearing the laces. So I thought instead of replacing all of them, I would just replace some of them. So some of them have been replaced. There is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 in each skate that still have to be replaced, but for tonight I'm not going to do that because the bottom ones are not tearing the laces apart. So one more sharpening still to go for a pair of steels for a customer who I am taking the steels down to training tomorrow night for. And well, actually 2 sharpenings because I'll get Lee's done as well so that he's ready to go for when he decides to come back to playing. His skates will be pristine and ready to go. So I'll get them done. Won't bother you with a time lapse. I'll come back and see you once I've finished them.
While Stephen is finishing off the sharpenings for this evening, I thought I would just jump on and come and ask you guys if there's any content that you would like us to film, or if there's anything that you'd like us to feature. For example, we used to do the interviews and obviously we had our lovely Toby Craig. I'm quite sure that you don't want to see that again. But if you want some question and answers with Stephen and I, or anybody else that you'd like us to feature, obviously we're going to be picking the reviews up as we go through the season. Obviously we've got the big house move to do first, so we now have a date that we are focused on. So that'll be taking up a lot of our time and a lot of our energy just now. So we're going to be redecorating the shop. We've already got all the order with B&Q, I'll just have to pick it up. So we'll hopefully try and do that tomorrow. Building our new boxes at the front. The ones we've got are small, falling apart. The place looks a bit tired and dated, so we're going to bring the colours back that we had before. So we've got some greys, some blues, some blacks, which are what you can see here in Mr. Hector. So we're bringing back the blues, blacks, and we used to have grey as well, so bring some of that in. Make the place look clean and tidy. So we're not carrying a lot of stock just now because I don't really want to have to bag it all or cover it all when we're kind of decorating, so that will come in after we've finished decorating. And I've obviously got a loft to empty from our house as well as finish emptying my mum's. So that's kind of where we're up to with everything. But you guys, you need to tell us what you'd like to see. I know you want the reviews of the kind of performance entry level, mid-range kit that you guys like to see, which we're more than happy to do. Once we get into the season, we're going to have a regular kind of review slot. What we're going to do, still do our unboxing of our orders. If you want to see any question and answers or interviews again, and anybody you'd like us to ask to feature, obviously we've had Matt Haywood, we've had Jordan on, Toby Craig, we had Ross Connolly. If there's anybody else you quite fancy, we can reach out to them. We'll do an interview with them. So if there's anything, give us a wee comment below. Let us know what you'd like to feature and we'll get it organised. Don't forget to share the page with all your pals, get them onto YouTube, get them subscribing, get the views up, help us put clothes on our children. I'm not kidding. It would be much appreciated. It gets the word out there. You know, we've been so complimented in the last few weeks, which has been really, really good. Really needed to hear it. That sounds like we were fishing it. We weren't. We kind of lost our way and lost sight of why we're doing it. So it's been really nice that we've got complimented and that, you know, you're kind of vindicated of what you're doing. So it's been quite good that way. But yeah, we're going to catch you on the next one very shortly. I'm sure Stephen's going to come on and show you what he's been doing and all the noise he's been making, because he's good at noise. And then we'll see you soon.
Oh, it's 8:23 or 8:24. It just literally changed just as I said that. So we are now about to leave. That's us finished for tonight. I managed to get everything that I had to get done apart from the Twitch stick. I will try and see if I can maybe get in tomorrow at some point. Probably not, because it is this old lady's birthday. She's going to be 24 again.
24.
24
I'll
again.
take that.
She's 44. She's going to be 4 years older than me, because the way it works, right, is there's a weekend between my birthday and Pam's birthday. So for a full week, Pam's 4 full years older than me. That's what I tell her. She doesn't like that at all, do you?
No. Tell them what you call me.
Menopause Myrtle.
No. What do you call me?
A turkey vulture. If anybody wants to know what a turkey vulture is apparently it's older than a cougar. So that's what I call her. But anyway, that's us finished for tonight. So hopefully there is enough for a video. If not, then we'll see you again on Friday. If there is enough for a video, thanks very much for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Keep it cold-blooded.